Well, I'm excited to have this podcast again. It feels like we haven't done this in a long time.
It feels like it's been a while because we like kind of stocked them up a bit. Then we were doing a bunch of work, but we're still on schedule. Our plan's twice a week.
Okay, yeah, so we're on schedule on posting this tomorrow.
Yeah.
Cool.
Tuesdays, Fridays. That's the goal.
Yeah.
I think we can rock it.
I know. But I was actually really excited to do this podcast on the way here. I have a hot take, and I want to hear if you would agree with me on this.
Okay.
So while I was driving here, I had this thought, and I believe it's true that nowadays having a good business is not good enough to actually be successful. You know,
I see what you're saying.
the reason for that is because there's so much more competition out there right now, right? I mean, like,
true.
you could have the best idea, you could have the best product, you could have the best service, but if you don't have the great promotion, if you don't have good marketing behind that,
It's true.
it literally would mean nothing.
Because here's the thing too. It's not just about, if you don't have good marketing, people can't find you, but there's companies who might not be as good as you who have killer marketing. So everyone's convinced they're the best option in the city.
Yeah.
Like if you're like, I don't know, you run a bowling alley, you have the sickest bowling alley there is, but the other guy who's like just a normal bowling alley has a crazy social media. That's where everyone's going.
Exactly.
So
And everybody,
I agree with
exactly.
you.
Just the more eyeballs you have on your business, the more business will come in.
Yeah.
And
Especially if you're good.
exactly. And actually going to what you just said right there, on that, while I was driving with that thought, I was like, okay, like, how can I really back that up, right?
Yeah.
And then I just thought about iPhone. Bro, Apple have been, I believe, especially from someone who was working in the cell phone industry for a really long time, I believe that Apple has been selling the same product over the course of a couple of years.
Yeah.
But why does everybody want it? Because they have great marketing. Bro, you see their ads
It's the
everywhere.
ads, but it's actually deep, man. Like they actually, with iMessage and everything, they created this like
system.
island that you like separate yourself onto. And it's either you're either part of the group or you're not. You're either green bubble or blue bubble. Like they create this like this entire atmosphere around it.
But what's crazy is that, like, even though Apple is already well known and everybody basically have an iPhone here in North America for the majority,
Yeah.
but Apple is still spending so much money on ads, on advertising. You know what I mean? Like, even as simple as like Honda or Toyota, like everybody knows Honda and Toyota, and they have a great product. But the thing is, they're still putting money in marketing, and that's what's really interesting. Is because even the fact that they've already established themselves as like the big boys, they're still doing the hard work of putting money in advertising and marketing their products.
It's true. And it's interesting, eh? Like when you get that big, like I would almost assume you're good. There's a Honda dealership like all throughout the city. You drive past it every day, like, or
not even that, you
dealership.
just see everybody driving the thing.
Yeah.
Everybody's driving the car,
true.
right?
Every
and that's
parking lot you pull into, every time you're in traffic, like there's 20 Hondas surrounding you. So why should they need ads? It's all there.
Exactly.
But
they're still doing it. And they spend
do
a lot of money on it.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm actually really interested on how much they actually spend on an annual basis on marketing.
It's probably insane.
Just imagine their like
Let's look it
budget.
up.
Imagine the budget for their like for one ad that they have. You know, when like,
let's check Honda and let's check Apple.
yeah, I'm actually interested. But the thing is, you know what's so crazy though, is that Apple has created this system where they're getting free advertising because people are making videos on YouTube about unboxing the latest iPhone.
Yeah.
Right. And so even though Apple is not directly paying those YouTubers to make those videos, but they're actually benefiting from them by a long mile.
It's very true.
Right.
It's so true. Okay, so here's the numbers I'm seeing. So Honda, 1.07 billion in 2021 for marketing.
Apple, okay.
3.7 billion US dollars.
Wow.
That's fucked. That's crazy.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Like that's more than I expected, honestly. Cuz
bro, that's more they're spending more marketing on some of these companies like value, like company value.
No, it's true. But then you think their value and like that's a little drop in the bucket. But also, yeah, like a lot of companies, like they can spend majority of their money on marketing. Like a company like any of those subscription services like Dollar Shave Club, like a lot of those type of companies,
Like
I can't think of other ones. Yeah. Where it's like they're just trying to be the cheapest in the market, just trying to be the number one guy. Like a lot of the time they're losing money on marketing purposefully, because they're like, if we just lose money for the first 5 years and just become the company, then we can start making our profit. That's what Amazon did. Not so much in the marketing side, but just as like, they lost money so they could be the cheapest, easiest, most convenient option.
That's the they have the long-term goal. And that actually, I just remember this story that one time you told me about, like the bananas. Do you want to tell them about that?
Yes. Yeah.
About the bananas at Costco?
So that's a big one that I learned, and that's really interesting. It's called a loss leader. And like, it's something you can use in basically any business. And it's basically you pick something, you create a product or you provide something where it's the cheapest out of anyone in the city. So let's use it. So like there's a grocery store in Ottawa. They produce a flyer with their sales and stuff. They're having a sale on bananas. It's cheaper than anywhere else, a huge discount, half the price of the next best one. They're losing money on those bananas. Every time someone buys them, it costs them 50 cents, let's say. But the goal of that is so people come, oh, that's such a great deal, I have to go there. They get their banana, they lose their 50 cents, but then they do the rest of their groceries there.
Exactly.
That's the goal. So
they're
it's
upselling.
like, exactly. And that's kind of, that was kind of Amazon's whole business model for the first while. Like, I don't even know if they
sold books in the beginning. That's what I know.
But
they sold books.
I think if they have even started turning a profit, it's only recently. Like, they're huge, but all of that money spent on lowering shipping speeds, like creating new warehouses, like getting all these things and paying out suppliers so that more people come to the platform, and everything about it is just so that they can be the person, like the company, and then they can turn that market share into the profit.
And that's why, like, going back to the grocery thing, and that's why the most essential things will always be at the back of the store, because they purposely want you to walk through around the aisle. And there's another method that they do is like they put the most colorful thing right when you walk in. Usually when you walk into a grocery store, you are greeted with the vegetables, the fruits, and they're very colorful and they smell really good. It entices you to just walk in. It welcomes you, right? And then and you're looking for eggs, and the egg is literally the furthest corner from the entrance, right? Because because they purposely make you walk through everything so that you can shop around. And also on the aisles, everything that is eye level costs more than it would have for them to have their products underneath, right? Because nobody really,
for your positioning.
Exactly, nobody really looks. And then there's another strategy that they do, for example, for cereals for kids. They really target kids for cereal. So those ones are actually going to be on the lower shelves, because that's the eye level for kids.
That's wild.
So everything is strategy, everything is marketing, and it's just so crazy and that's what I'm saying. You could literally have the best cereal out there, but if you're putting your cereal for kids at the high shelf possible, and you're targeting kids, and those kids don't see it, you're not doing yourself justice.
No, it's
you know what I mean? And that's what I'm going back with my point with my take of having a good business or having a good product or service is not good enough. Nowadays,
you have to be in front of people. That cereal is a really good example of just why marketing matters. Is if the people who are there for your product, like if you have this really sugary, crazy cereal, a parent's not going to look at that and like, my kid should have that.
Exactly.
It's like the kid will see it, I want it so bad, convince their parents. Whereas if you're throwing that at the top shelf, it's done. You're not getting in front of the right person. You're not getting in front of your target audience. So that's a perfect example of it. Like, And
another example, I'm not sure if you know about this, but I think it was like a few years ago, the highest paid YouTuber is actually a kid. Have you ever read
reviews guy?
Like Ryan's review? And you know what's so crazy about that is because their target audience are literally kids, right? And obviously because kids will be influenced by the toys that this kid would play, then they would go and tell their parents about it. And you know, it's so crazy because you'll never have like a toy company be promoting on like on a podcast, because kids don't watch podcasts for the most part, right? And so it's just crazy on like how marketing really plays a big factor into your business.
And that's actually like Yeah, because mostly what we're talking about here is like, I mean, this applies to all marketing, but like social media and how that's just different, and it's a really important thing that especially some older companies like don't really feel the need to get into, but it is like it's a whole new thing that's so different. Like those toy reviews, even like yeah, kids are watching them and he's getting in front of the toys target audience, but if a parent sees that too, they're going to trust that more than just some random TV commercial. They're going to trust this kid saying, I love this for these reasons. And so that's an example on social media. That's a really useful tool, is user generated content. If you sell a product or a service, like, yes, make content about it with you talking, with information, with selling, but getting your clients to talk about it and make videos and incentivizing that with discounts or whatever it may be, like that is something that people trust so much more. Like, yeah, people like for this studio, you know, we're trying to rent the space once it's ready. And even though like I can make a video saying you should rent this space, it's this price, you get these perks, blah blah blah, and that's great, someone might see that and be interested. But if then a photographer posts a video saying, guys, I went here, it was amazing, it was this price, it was that, whatever, like people are going to trust that so much more.
Exactly. And that's why like reviews it's such a big thing nowadays, right? Because for example, I'm not sure if you operate this way, but for example, if I wanted to visit a new restaurant that I've never been to, the biggest factor is I look at their star rating. I look at the star rating. I look at the images that people posted from the reviews, right? So that's a big factor now. You don't just go, oh, let me try out new Greek food, or like, let me try out new Thai food. You actually look at the reviews, and because what people say really matter.
It's so true.
Right?
No, you're actually so right. Even like, on Amazon, like obviously the first thing I do is reviews, because there's 1,000 of the same products. So I got to find the best rated. But even before that, I look at the customer pictures and see what does it look like in person, how did it show up, what was the condition, like, and it's so true. Like finding some way to get your customers to talk about your space is like one of the best things you can do to show people that what you're saying about it is also reciprocated by the people that have been there.
But you know what's so crazy is that these businesses are getting so smart that they understand that concept, and so what they're doing is that they're actually doing fake reviews.
I know.
And
I was gonna say.
And so what's crazy is, for example, like an Amazon product. They would get a bunch of their friends. They get their bunch of their friends to just order it, get them a star rating, and then just do a review. And you can really tell if it's a genuine review.
Yes.
You know, I mean, I think I can really tell just because I'm in that industry of like marketing and whatnot. When people are just like over the top, like, yeah, this was amazing.
The best thing ever.
This was exactly, exactly. It fit the exact dimension and all that stuff. It's like, yo, why are you being so specific? Just say you like it.
Like,
you know?
Like to me, literally, I would be more convinced to buy something from a 4-star review that says it does the trick, good for the money. It's not the best, but it's cheap, so it works. Like I'd take that over, this was amazing, 10 times, it should be charged 10 times more. Like, that to me is fake or paid for or whatever it may be. Like there's literally professional reviewers on Amazon. Like they have a little star next to them. Like
really,
that's what they do. Like suppliers will send them stuff like just on, like they've done hundreds of reviews across the platform. So it's like, it's literally their job. And of course, if they're giving crappy reviews, people aren't going to keep doing it. So they're just out giving great reviews. So
you want to know something? Is that what's crazy is that there was one time I purchased something off of Amazon, and then I opened a box, I opened the product, and then I see a little, it was like a little business card, and it said, give us a review, give us a good review, give us a 5-star rating, and you'll get a 10% discount or like a $10 discount. And that's not allowed, I don't think.
It's not allowed to say, give us a 5-star, but asking for reviews for a incentive, I think, is a great thing you can do.
No, absolutely.
But asking, give us 5 stars and you get it.
No,
that's
but
not allowed.
Exactly.
For sure.
See, exactly. Like,
or I don't know if it's not allowed, but you shouldn't do that. I don't think that's the right way to run a business. But
it was like a conditional thing, you know, like if you give us a 5-star review, if you say something nice to us, then you can get a $10 discount. Then that's pretty wild.
That shows that they don't believe in their product.
Exactly. And that's not the crazy part. The crazy part was underneath they had a little fine print that says, please do not tell Amazon about this.
Whoa.
Yes, because they knew what they were doing was wrong. That's why I even brought it up. I think I might have taken a photo of that, but it was weird because they knew what they were doing was wrong.
That's a problem for sure.
Exactly.
But if you believe in the thing you offer and you believe that it deserves a good review, then do that exact same thing, but just say, leave us a review and we'll provide this, whatever it's a discount, whether it's something free the next time you come in, whatever it may be, like just to incentivize it. Because you're asking them to be honest. You're not telling them to leave a good review or else, or hide this, whatever. But like just asking people to give their input and tell people about it. That's all you're doing. And like, this is obviously a bigger barrier to entry, but even asking people to make a video review and you can post that on social media, like in the example of like a haircutter or something, you know, they get them to like do a little spin or whatever. Like not everyone wants to be on camera, but you can help incentivize that. And then now you see real people using it and stuff like that can be huge in convincing someone. Yeah.
And going back to the whole marketing thing, what boggles my mind is when people spend thousands of dollars in their product or service and they're not willing to spend like any money at all for marketing. It's almost like they believe in their product, which is great. Of course, you have a great product, you have a great service, good. But at the same time, I feel like there's always a missing thing that people don't understand in business, where marketing matters a lot. And we've seen this with in this industry, where people would, let's say, spend a lot of time and hours and time would spend a lot of time, where people would spend a lot of time and money on their products or service, but they're so cheap on marketing. And the thing is, I don't really like to work with those people, is because for a couple of reasons. One is that they don't understand the business side of things, because marketing plays a big factor. And then the other thing is that, let's say they're looking for a video or photos and they're not willing to spend money on that. That means they also aren't going to be willing to put money on ads, right? Because then what sucks about it is, for example, you come to me and you tell me, hey, David, I have this amazing watch. I want you to take photos and videos of it, right? And I want great marketing. I want a great marketing video. Yeah. Cool. I'll do it. And if I can already tell that you're cheap about spending money on that video, on that creative, I know for a fact that you wouldn't be spending money on running ads. And then it would look bad on me, because now you're gonna come to me and say, yo, the video didn't do well. Or like, I'm not getting any sales. And I'm gonna look at it and tell you it's because you didn't pay for any ads. You know, like the market is so like, not saturated, but so competitive that like you really have to spend money, and you got to be willing.
So I agree for the most part. Okay. But I do think there's a lot of ways to generate, like to do marketing, to do real marketing without paid ads. And that would just be like social media strategies. But of course, like if their goal is to run ads and they're putting $10 a day or $10 a week into it, then it's just a waste of time. Like nothing's going to take off. You're not finding your right audience. But there are so many ways, and it's almost like in some ways more effective to just have a really like robust social media presence that's actually either providing value or providing your personality and explaining, like showing the personality behind your business. Because like people, it's similar to what we're saying about user generated content. Like people connect with people more than they connect with a brand.
I know, but nowadays, Mason, you have to buy attention. For example, let's say you and I have the same product. I have 100 followers on Instagram. You have 100,000. Right. We have this exact same product, and if you launched it, you would be much more successful than I would be. And even if our creatives were exactly the same, but you would have much more reach. Right. And you would have much more influence. And so for me, that someone who has 100 followers, it would be much more difficult for me to get the same exact result as you, because you already have that advantage of having an extra 90,900 followers than me.
But so let's say let's change it up a bit. You have 100,000. I have 10,000. Okay. You got your 100,000 through running ads. Okay. I built a cult community in my city.
Then that's different.
Exactly. Yes. That's what I'm talking about. Okay. I'm saying if you don't have the money, of course, running ads is the most effective and fast way to get attention. Of course, there's no question. But I'm just saying, for the people who don't have that money, which I think should be a huge priority of their business, but let's just say they don't. Like just creating this community around you. If you're a local business, again, if it's an online, like
that's
store,
what I'm talking about.
That's different, of course. But you're a local business, like creating this this community around your business, providing value to people, showing people's experience, showing what you do for the community, all these things. 10,000 loyal customers or loyal followers will get more conversions than 100,000 people who just saw an ad once and might be a little interested.
Of course, those are more quality followers, right? And
yeah.
you see that a lot on social media. But what I was just saying is, usually people, let's say influencers, when they sell a product, they're much more successful just because you already have that audience.
And that's kind of an example of user-generated content to a degree. Yeah, no, it's true. It is like running ads, of course, is super, super important, and like doing it correctly, obviously, like it can be done. You can't just throw money into it and hope it works. Like there's so much that goes into creative testing and finding your audience and retargeting campaigns, and it's challenging. So yeah, I guess all I'm saying is like there's ways to do it while you're either figuring those things out or saving up the money. Like you can still be creating content and asking your customers to create content and just creating that organic following. Like that's huge. Yeah, it really is.
No, of course. Yeah. Cause at the end of the day, like the main reason why you're saying all of that is because just get attention, right?
Yeah.
Attention is the new currency.
It's true.
You know, like the more attention you have, the more money you'll have, as long as you know how to monetize it.
Yeah.
As long as you know how to monetize it. But yeah, no, going back to what I was saying is, it's just crazy on how some people like leave that part of the business, the marketing and
take money out of it. Just marketing in general, some people leave that out, and that's a problem. Like you just have to find your way. Like if you have the money, run ads, find a team of people who can take that product and get it to the right people and explain it to them in the way they need to hear it and get the sale. But just in any way you can, be marketing your product. You can't just have a good store or a good item and hope people are going to find it. Like same with anything, a podcast, whatever it is, like you can't just hope people are going to stumble across it and buy. Like you have to show them what it is, that it exists, why they should have it, all these things.
It's funny because there's I won't say the name, but we worked with the product once, and it was I won't say the product.
Could say it. We'll just cut it. We'll bleep it.
No. But basically, it was like a fitness product. Okay. You know what it is? We shot at the old studio, and basically, she had spent like a lot of money for us to take the photos. Yeah. And some videos. 2
locations, 2 shoots.
Exactly. And decent. Literally, we were hyped. It was like, yo, these creatives came out fire.
I love everything about it.
I was proud of that.
Yeah.
I was so proud of that. Same. And then literally, no marketing was done.
Yeah.
Literally no marketing was
posted
done.
Like 3 of the photos.
Literally posted 3 photos.
In the same day. And then just left no caption.
No link.
No
nothing. It was more of like, and shared a story.
And they were cropped. Like she made it square, but it was like a portrait image. Yeah. And so her head was like.
Distorted. But yeah, no, that's what I'm saying is that, like, I mean, we're pretty lucky in a sense that like we learned this early on. Yeah. Because we first initially started with drop shipping, the biggest thing about drop shipping is not so much about the product. Yeah, you can find a winning product, but it's about like knowing how to market.
Drop shipping literally is just marketing. It's not some product you put your life into or is a revolutionary thing. You're just picking something that's kind of popular and just trying to market it better than the next guy.
Than everybody. So and also it's also a money game. Yeah. You also have to be willing to spend some money, and like we've lost a lot of money on some products.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah, because we did a store together.
Yeah.
We only did one, right?
Just the one. That was like we were doing it ourselves. Then we did the one store. Then we were like, let's do the marketing.
Let's do the marketing. Yeah, it was because like we were spending a lot of money on that. Like, and we were seeing some good returns. Yeah. But at the same time, like if we really wanted to scale it to the level of where we wanted to, it would have cost a lot of money. Yeah. And that's the scary part with business is that you already spend so much money on initially creating your product or like your business in general. And then like someone will come to you and tell you need to spend more money on marketing. You're going to be like, yo, I don't want to. It is, right? It's super tough. Discouraging, but it's so important. But I could see why people really shy away from it.
Yeah. Because they think, and this is a very reasonable way to think, but like, let's say I have $20,000 and I'm creating a product. It would their headspace is it would make more sense to put all 20,000 into creating the best product possible, but then you're left with nothing. Whereas what's probably the better option is use half of it, 10,000, to create a good product, a version 1 that's great and fits all your criteria, that does what you're trying to do, market it, and then you can iterate on the product and make it the perfect thing. But yeah, like you need to be at the start of it all. Once you have, this is how much money I have, this is what I want to do, like marketing needs to be a part of that budget for sure, and a decent chunk of it.
Yeah. And that's why I love marketing, because I love helping people.
Yeah.
We just love going in and just like helping people like market their service or their brand, and just like giving them an insight on like how we can make it better. Yeah. Not so much on how we can make their business better, but like how we can
show people it exists, and how we can present it better than they have been. Like that's what we do is we like, their product, it is what it is. And we've worked with some really, really cool stuff and companies and services. It's just a matter of getting it in front of the right people and communicating it in a way that actually makes sense to them. That's like, oh yeah, actually I do need that. Like that would really help me. But let me ask you, because these are very, very different things. Okay. Do you prefer to make content and market products or like services, stores? They're very different processes and mindsets.
Products.
Yeah.
I think products, because there's more creative. There's more creative boundaries that we can work with. Just because when we're working with a service, we have to almost follow a certain blueprint. Yeah,
you know, it's like kind of just showing what the service is.
Exactly.
Whereas if it's a watch, it can be you can be showing it in. If it's waterproof, show it in water, and like all these cool things to show the features. Like you can really just put it in its own world.
Exactly.
Whereas a product, or like especially a service where they have a location, it's like you're filming the owner in their location, talking about the service. So it is more straightforward.
I mean, what I do like about working with services is we get to chat with the business owner. Yeah. We get to chat with like where their headspace is at, and we just share good ideas. We go back and forth with good ideas. Yeah. But also, what I like about products is that like they typically just trust our vision.
Yeah. We have see like that a bit of an input, but exactly, it's mostly I want to see what you create.
Exactly, and we just have like full creative control. Yeah. When we're working with a product, and that's what I really like. That's and I think I might be biased because that's what we started with. Fair. But at the same time, I just like to take my time sometimes, you know. And sometimes when I have new ideas, it's a bit easier when I'm just working with a product rather than with a service, because when I'm working with a service, usually other people are involved. Definitely. Right? For example, if we're already working on an idea and then I come up with a better idea, I'd be much more hesitant on telling the people about that new idea, because then that means we'd have to reshoot it, we'd have to reschedule. Whereas if it's a product, I'll just do it right there and then. Yeah. Right?
No, it's true.
What about you?
Like that. Honestly, I'm more on the service side. Like I like you said, like I like going in, talking to a business owner, being in their location, hearing why they did this, like just like because that's the thing, is there's so much more constraints when talking about a service or a location. Yeah. So now it's more a matter of how can we turn this into something creative? How can we take those things and make it creative? Like, so you do this thing, we could easily just make a video of you explaining it, but what's some cool creative way we can show it and show whether it's a client like going through the process or how it benefited them, or like, you know, just like you kind of can create a story around it that's deeper than it needs to be, or than it is just at face value. Yeah. And that's fun to me. Like,
and I do agree with you on that. I think the thing for me, the biggest factor is that it might just be because of the scale of where we are right now, of the businesses that we work with. But usually the businesses that we work with here, small businesses here in Ottawa, are usually, it's the people that are in the business that are usually involved. They're usually the one acting out and whatnot, right? And then sometimes I just feel like not everybody's comfortable being in front of the camera and telling them to do certain things, and like they just feel a bit weird, and like sometimes they just don't portray, they just don't perform well. It is very difficult. Whereas if we were working with a much bigger budget, and we can hire like actors and models and all that stuff, then it would be, I think I would feel a bit different.
I agree with that.
But sometimes the business owner's like, oh fuck, you want me to do that? Like,
I know.
Like, am I ready for this? Right?
For the longest time, like we would, you know, we were creating these videos and it was like, yeah, I know, you got it, whatever. But then like we started creating our own content, and then I realized like oh my God, this giant light's pointing at me. The camera's
Exactly.
staring into a lens. Like it is hard.
It is very
easy.
hard, and sometimes like it's a really uncomfortable thing.
Yeah.
Right.
And that can be very challenging.
Exactly.
But that's why I try to, when I'm working with someone like that who doesn't really know how to act in front of a camera and they're like kind of just talking like a robot, like I'd really try to just tell them to remove them from the scene and just say like just have a conversation, like whether it's instead of them having a script, I'll just sit behind the camera and like ask them questions like, so if I wanted to come in and get my car cleaned, like what would that how could I reach out to you, how could I book it, and then just let them talk to me, and like
exactly, it's a bit more natural. It's more natural.
Just find ways to help them, because that's the it is hard for them to be in front of camera, but they're the best one to be because they're the one who did this. Nobody else put in years of their life and all their money to create a car washing business, you know? I wouldn't do that, but they did. So they're the ones who need to be in front of that camera.
Yeah, no, I definitely do understand, but sometimes there's just that pressure, like you said earlier. It's big pressure, and sometimes they don't perform, or like sometimes they don't say the things that they want to say the way that they want it to.
Well, it comes with time. Anytime we work with someone long term, they grow and they get so good at it. Like after like a couple sessions, it just becomes natural to them. It's at first, it's such a shock. Like this bright light, you have the camera, you have audio, you have 4 people behind the camera. Like it is intimidating.
I guess that might change depending on like the magnitude of the project.
True.
That so I mean, like we've worked with some models before, and like we can tell them to do it again and they'll be just okay, no problem. Like they're just down to do it.
It is a lot easier.
Whereas like sometimes when you're working with people who don't have experience in that, their energy level just decreases as like the more shots we take, and it just like and you see that, and sometimes
it's so true.
Remember we were making this one delivery video back then, like with a skateboard, remember? And like we were working with a kid.
Oh my God.
You know, it was just like so difficult.
Yeah.
And
it was a kid on a skateboard, and he just kind of was getting annoyed, and like we'd ask him to do it again or whatever. Like, and
it was really shy and whatnot. And obviously, but if we were to work with someone that was a professional, then that would have been a whole different story, right? And then that video probably would have actually made it to the public. Typed.
But it happens. We've had a lot. That would be an interesting episode, like talking about all the projects that didn't even make it out. Because, you know, sometimes your vision doesn't come to life. And also, like, this was, 2 years ago? Maybe a bit less. But, you know,
I
like,
would say so, 2 years ago.
This was early on where, you know, now that we've had that, that's not gonna happen again. We've learned.
And the thing is, I think that was a collaboration.
It wasn't like a paid gig. So
it
was
like
a collaboration. It just didn't work out.
It was just like
that's how it goes.
Would have been good marketing for us, good marketing for them. But it just didn't work out. But no, absolutely.
It's cool. But I think one other topic I want to touch on, because it's something we've really utilized and something we do a lot of, is, and this goes back to the organic side, the social media side, is especially if you have a local business, but honestly, any type of business, the best part about social media, and this is completely free, is you can create this image for yourself of being the expert on that topic, especially if you're kind of new. Like, there's not many of that in the city. Like, let's say it is car washing. I'll just keep to that example. Like, unless there's some dude in your city who's the influencer on car washing, like there's an opportunity there. And if you just create videos giving people little tips and tricks, use toothpaste to clean your headlights, here's how you get a scratch out, like all these things, you just become this person that everyone can trust and go to and get tips from. And then when they're ready to pay for it, like they'll do it themselves. They will use your advice. And some people may look at that as losing jobs because you're telling them how to do it themselves. But in my opinion, if you create that value for people, you are going to benefit in the long run more than someone who's just like, I'm not telling you how to do that, you pay me to do that. Like, exactly.
And you know what's so funny is because there was one thing that I heard back in the day where it was saying like great marketing is not about converting right in that moment. It's about people thinking about you first when a certain situation come about. For example, if you're good at marketing, like if you're a mechanic, right?
Yeah.
And I come across one of your content and I enjoy it, right?
And you give me something valuable.
Exactly. And I'm like, okay, my car's not broken right now, but whatever, you know, and I just forget about it. But then like 3 months down the road, my car is broken. I was like, you would be I don't know why I said it like that, but if you're the first person that I would think of, then your marketing worked, in my opinion,
absolutely.
Right? For example, for us, like
1000%.
if someone saw like an ad of us, like, oh, we'll make videos, blah blah blah. Yeah, they don't need us. They don't need us right now, and that's fine. But if down the road they come to an opportunity where they need a video and they think about us first, then I think that was a success.
Or a couple months down the line, one of their friends is like, I got this new thing. I need to make a video for it. They're like, oh yeah, I saw this video.
Referrals, bro.
Like,
word of mouth
in
is
their head.
Yo, if you're really trying to build a community within your community, word of mouth is the best.
It's huge.
Word of mouth is the best. Like, you know how everybody has like, oh, I know a guy.
Yeah.
You want to be that guy.
You want to be that guy. And if you're just like, if every video you make is, hey, we have a 10% discount, come today. If everything you do is just trying to sell and get sales, there's nobody's like, I really need to keep that guy in mind. I want to recommend him. Like, whereas, because for me, like this happens a lot where I like to do things myself. I don't like to pay for stuff. I'm cheap. So like if something's wrong with my car, I'm going to look it up. Yeah. And so what I do is like, if I think I'm trying to remember exactly what it was, but I think it was like to change my brakes or something. Like I was looking up how to do it. And there was an article from like a mechanic, like one of the bigger ones in Ottawa, but like on their website. Yeah. And it was fully told me step by step how to do it with pictures. It was amazing. I literally did it myself. I've never done it. I'm not a mechanic by any means. And so they gave me the ability to do it myself. They just lost a customer technically, but for everything I couldn't do myself from that point on, I'm like, oh, I'm going right there. They know what they're doing. They know how to provide value. Like, they're not just trying to steal, like trying to gouge money from everyone. Like instantly they were my guy, and I would recommend them constantly. Exactly. So it's like that.
They're memorable now.
Yeah,
they're memorable
because they actually provided me real value. Like not like it wasn't like, here are the first 3 steps, but you want to come in and hire us to do the rest. Like it wasn't anything like they were like fully in depth. Like they put time and money into making this article for me to do it myself, which is insane.
And that's another form of marketing, right? Because I think like marketing works the best when you create an impact, right? When you create a change or an impact on someone's life, and whether that's just same example as you doing it yourself or just changing their mindset. It's just like creating an impact on someone is the best way.
It is. Right. That's what makes you stick. Exactly. It really is. It's sick. Yeah. It's beauty. There's so much more to talk about, but there's so much more.
I know. I don't
episodes to go.
Oh my goodness, bro. You're going to be late.
Okay.
You're going to be late, but I know we're about to wrap up, but you know what? I'm really happy that we're continuing this. Yeah. What's really exciting to me is that a lot of people have actually been reaching out to us and letting us know that they enjoy the podcast. Yes. And shout out to all those people that have reached out to us and have showed support.
How many people have said like they actually listen to the full episodes. I wasn't expecting that, especially from just like friends and stuff. I thought, they'd see the clips, they'd enjoy that, but
most really importantly too is that what's really nice is that people have actually reached out to us and had said that, yo, I've always wanted to do a podcast. Yeah. And like, is this something that you can is this like, something that you can do for us?
Can we try it out, whatever? Yeah. And like, can we come in? Yeah. And it's exactly what it's for. Like, exactly. We haven't the reason we haven't really talked about it much is we have yet to finish. Yeah. Like for anyone watching, like last episode, this was a blank wall. Now we're getting these things up. Every day we're upgrading the space. Yeah. And so soon, sometime in May, we'll be getting the website ready. We're getting bookings ready. Yeah. And that's literally what this space is for, for people to make their podcast here.
Yeah. I mean, the crazy part is like the set that they see right now isn't always just going to be the set. Yeah. Right. Because if you wanted to do a podcast here, you can definitely do it. But when you book the space, you get the whole thing, right? You get the lobby, you get the studio, and you basically can do your podcast wherever you want. Yeah. Right.
So literally, there's a couch right here. You can do it over there. You can move the couch against this wall. You can do your podcast in the studio. You can do it in the lobby. Like, you rent the space, you get the space, but you also get the mics and the audio equipment. So that's like really genuinely, like that's why we started this space, is to make things like this accessible to people.
Yeah.
Because we've had to do that in the past, like rent a studio, never for a podcast, because that's not really that available where we live. But
yeah,
like we just want it to be possible. And we've had like, that's what people are mostly saying when they ask about it is, I've wanted to do a podcast, but I have no idea how to start. I can't get all the equipment. I don't even know how to use it. And that's literally why we did this.
Exactly.
So anyone who has an idea, who wants to talk about it, can come in here, sit down, speak, and have an episode. It's ready to go.
And going back to the whole marketing thing, man, podcast is a great marketing tool.
Huge.
It's a great marketing tool. Like you can literally
provide
sit down.
value, to become an expert. All the points we hit.
Yeah.
You literally make a podcast, cut clips, you're done.
Literally, you could literally sit here for 30, 45 minutes and just have a conversation with someone, or just have a conversation with yourself. Just talk to the camera like literally. This. And you could literally take probably 10 of those things. Yeah. 10. You can clip 10 things from that 30-minute or 45 minutes, and you literally have content for the next 2 weeks or maybe a month, depending on how often you post. That's the cool part about the podcast. And because we've done it in the past where we would sit in front of the camera and try to talk about a certain topic, right? And sometimes it would take 30 minutes, maybe 40 minutes, depending of how we want to execute it.
Was to exactly. Get through the script and everything.
And whereas when you're just talking naturally like this, like me and you having a conversation, things just flow naturally. Yeah. And it doesn't feel forced, and it just comes off really genuine, and it's a great marketing thing. It's a great marketing tool.
It's completely true.
But yeah, so I'm super excited. I think,
man.
I know
we'll keep everyone posted with it, but
soon enough.
This room is essentially done.
We just have a few things in the lobby and whatnot.
We're trying to figure out audio a bit in the other room, but it is ready. Yeah, there's a couple final touches we need, but then all that's left is getting the site done so people can actually book it.
But hey, listen, I mean, I know we don't have the booking portal available right now, but if some people really want to jump on this right now, they can definitely just send us an email or just a DM or give us a text.
DM either of us or Lanllo Media, Lanllo Studio, because we want people to see it, especially before it's open. We want opinions. We want people to utilize the space. So I'd
love to meet everybody that would come in here and and also just have a conversation with them. And just kind of
whether you want to make a podcast or not, just hit us up. Come check it out.
Absolutely,
that's what we want. So,
but that's a wrap for episode 5, bro. I can't believe we actually did that.
It's wild.
I'm excited.
I'm excited. I'm loving the space. It looks good.
Yeah, same.
I'm very happy.
All right. Well, thanks for watching.
Thank you very much.
Probably listening too. Most likely listening. Nobody really wants to look at us for that long. People that listen to podcasts like to multitask.
Fair.
I know that.
That's me.
All right.
All right.
Peace.
Thank you.